Hello, boys and
Little
girls.
dirty
Welcome.
motherfucker.
Okay.
Sorry.
Great. Great start. Hello, boys and
That fucking timing was impeccable.
That was great. Hello, boys. Great. Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to the show. Happy Friday. My name's Dave. His name's Lambert. And welcome to Keeping It on the DL. We got a great show ahead for you today. We're going to obviously talk about some game. We talk about some sports. We're going to talk about Warzone 2, Modern Warfare 2 Season 1 Reloaded update, and quite frankly, just how horrible of an update it's been. As well as, Mr. Beast being in Fortnite and his big Fortnite challenge that will be happening tomorrow. More details on that if you're not aware. And then in the sports world, we'll talk a little bit about how awful Skip Bayless is as a human being. Whether or not Brock Purdy is the future of the NFL. We'll close out the show with who we got as our DL person or team of the week. All that and more coming up on the show. Want to give a quick shout out to everybody who watched the show last week and checked out all the various clips on social media and stuff. Almost 1,000 views on the one TikTok that we had. So thank you.
Amber, really?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I forgot to mention that to you. It was the
Not
one.
bad, huh?
It was the one about you being bricked up. That was that was the one. But Mr. Lambert, how are you today?
Chilling, bro. Very excited to be here. I called off work, canceled plans with my parents that I haven't seen in years, and declined my kid's offer to hang out to do this podcast. So I'm very excited.
Nice. Didn't know you had a kid.
Yeah, neither did I.
Oh, okay. That's wow. Guys, I do want to let it be known ahead of time. We tried recording this yesterday, with the intention of having me have it uploaded for today.
We're literally halfway through.
And yeah. I mean, we were almost done with the gaming portion of it, and then good old snowstorm here knocked my power out. That was fun. So good time. So if at any point some of the stuff we talk about, if it doesn't seem too like authentic or like we fly by it a little quick, I apologize. It's just we kind of already talked about some of it. So
We literally talked about it.
yeah. But anywho, so Warzone 2, Modern Warfare 2 Season 1 Reloaded update. Yikes. A lot of issues with that. If you're not familiar with the update, if you haven't checked it out, they have their patch notes available. Not that their patch notes really say anything. They talk about some various fixes and a lot of bug fixes that they didn't necessarily need to fix right away. Like there was more pressing and more alarming issues. Like for example, the fact that they changed the name of one of the challenges to the calling card challenge because that's how it was supposed to be intended, I guess. Again, think maybe we talk about how your game constantly crashes, your servers are still inconsistent, audio is still broken, time to kill is still insane. Maybe let's talk about some of that stuff. But nah, we're gonna ignore that, right? Like we're just not gonna focus on any of that.
Listen, man, they're the devs. Okay, they know what they're doing. They decided that calling cards are very important to the gameplay experience.
Let's add this new mode. Let's dedicate time for developers to play, to create this mode called Warzone Cup that all of us in the Call of Duty community were asking for, right? Like this is the experience we wanted.
Yeah, literally. I watched more after our fucking disaster yesterday. I went and just watched more gameplay of it. who did I watch? Man, I don't even know any of these Call of Duty streamers' names, but I watched someone play it for like a little bit. I was like, dude, this is just so bad looking. It's just such low effort shit.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I mean, it's just it is so. Again, it's a knockoff of Rocket League, but nowhere even close to that
Yeah, not
kind
even
of
remotely in the
experience.
same ballpark of like quality or anything. So
Yeah. Um. But hey, soccer. Um.
oh
But
yeah, is that what they're trying to do? They're trying to like promote their soccer skins or whatever.
probably, you know what I mean? It's all obviously tied in with like the World Cup and um, and obviously they're the Neymar, Messi, and Mbappe bundles that they got. But
Yeah, dude, it would have been cooler though if they just did like. I mean, it could have even been the same thing, but they just do like you're just first person, like on your feet, and you're just actually kicking a ball around.
like actual soccer, yeah,
Yeah,
I'd actually kind of be down for that because I mean there's sliding in the game, right? So you could even do slide canceling, or not slide canceling, but like a slide tackle rather.
yeah, or you like
Um,
dolphin dive into the ball to like qualify or
yeah.
some shit. I
Oh,
don't know.
dude, yeah, like to do like a header or something like that, dude.
Yeah,
That'd actually be kind of sick. Yo, what the fuck? That was such a missed opportunity.
that's what I'm
That,
saying, dude. Activision
I,
hire us.
yeah, that actually would have been fun. Um,
It's your game, bro.
but anywho, yeah. So I mean, there's so many issues with the game that still have. I mean, they've kind of been addressed, but also kind of not because they're also not aware of like half the bugs in the game. Still, apparently, like they had no idea that the ultimate perk wasn't working in Warzone 2. They literally had no clue that that was a thing. Um,
Crazy
which
enough.
which goes to show like these devs definitely just do not. I mean, they don't play test anything. They definitely don't play the game. Um, granted, I'm sure they're working a lot, so it's kind of hard to play the game. But like just
Figured they'd
no effort.
figured they'd at least play test after pumping out an update, though.
You would think, right? Like you would think they would go through and do something, but nope, nope, we don't do that. Um, but they also changed they changed like the buy stations as well. They made it so that there was less buy stations and they weren't in permanent locations, like they just kind of rotated around the map. So you would go into some games to where you'd have to travel 400 meters just to find a buy station, which was an L, and I think they realized that because shortly after that they reverted that. At least I think they reverted it. I'm still not entirely sure because they said they doubled the amount of my capture card is doing that fucking thing again.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, it's chalked, man.
Nice.
It's chalked. It's all chalked. Changed it, they reverted it. And now they said they doubled the amount, but like doubled the amount as in, you know, post update, pre update, who knows. But
Yeah. Are they
uh,
still rotating?
now that's another question too. Now, I mean, I haven't. To be fair, I just woke up about a half hour ago, so I haven't seen anything. I haven't played any gameplay to actually go and find out and take a look. Um, but man, I mean, Call of Duty, Activision, Infinity Ward, like what are we doing, man? I mean, there's still just so many, just so many broken issues with this game. And like this was this
Yeah.
this was the update where we all sat there and were like, okay, this is the first big update. This is the update to sit there and try to change things, try to fix things, try to make things better. And instead, this is the experience we get.
Yep. It's definitely a really bad update for Warzone. Although I've been playing multiplayer now for the past like yesterday and today. And I will say, I don't know what it is. It feels a bit more polished, in my opinion, just playing shipment. I don't know if like
Probably
the frames are slightly higher or not, but
It's probably because they didn't do any performance updates with this, so it's probably because of the fact that Shipment's such a small map and there's not much
yeah, maybe
happening.
it just runs better. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Chances are that's probably it. Because I guarantee you, if you pay attention to your frame rate, if like somebody calls in like a precision or anything like that, I guarantee you probably see a dip at that point because it's just more
Gotcha.
shit
Yeah.
going on. But um, I mean at least you're enjoying the multiplayer side of it.
Yeah, I've
Um,
been enjoying Shipment actually. Like,
yeah,
it's kind of bad at first. 'Cause I'm like, oh, it's kind of Shipment again. But I
yeah.
feel like maybe I'm imagining it, but I feel like it's slightly larger. At least it feels slightly larger. I don't know why. There's like
Yeah,
more space to it.
I saw some things like some people were saying that like the just the layout so all of it's different and maybe it's because like they did change like the positioning of some of the crates I noticed.
Oh yeah,
um
definitely. Yeah. Sometimes I get confused on like what corner I'm on.
yeah, yeah, I did notice that. um but yeah, I mean, I don't know, man, as a whole, I mean, it's not I haven't really played the multiplayer side of it. I mean, I intend to, especially right now that you got the double weapon XP weekend happening, although the camo challenges are apparently broken, so
Dude,
there's that.
when are the camo challenges actually working? Just straight up.
That's a fair point. I mean, I guess they've kind of been a little buggy since the beginning. So there's there is that.
It's
There
never
is that.
working, dude.
Yeah. But I mean, dude, I just what an like an L of an update, man. Like again,
Yep.
I mean just the lack of urgency, the lack of effort going into some of these decisions. I mean, it's just I don't get it, man. I really don't. And now we're about to head into the holiday season for them. Um, Christmas being, a week away. Um,
Means no
and
updates.
right, that means no updates, none of that. Which again, I mean, they I'm sure they've been working a ton and working really hard. Um, albeit it doesn't feel like it. Um, so again, a well deserved, you know, break for the dev team. But brother, I mean, this is bad, and like it's in shit like this kind of just makes people get away from the game, right? Like they don't want to play it anymore, and it shows. Swag tweeted out yesterday a stat showing the something I found to be very interesting actually. Um, on Steam in particular. Oops,
Mm.
I accidentally just there we go. On Steam in particular, um, we saw almost about 500,000 people a couple days after a couple days after Warzone 2 dropped. As far as a combined peak between uh Warzone 2 and MW2 concurrent players. And then as of December 7th, or on December 7th, I should say, um, that reported number was 217,000, which is over 50% of a reduction in players played, or playing, I should say. And then J God, the legend with the numbers and the stats when it comes to Call of Duty, shared even post that. So the following week, the 14th, which is this week, um, on the 14th in particular, only 185,000. Um, and then
Continuing to drop.
yeah, and then it did go back up a little bit, but only because of the update.
Gotcha.
And I'm sure if we were to look either today, tomorrow, I'm sure the number might go up again just because of the fact that like double XP happening. Um, it's also a free to play weekend for the multiplayer, so like I'm sure the number will probably go back up just because of those things, but
Mhm. So
guarantee you
they're
that
they're artificial, basically.
exactly because I guarantee you that come next week that's not going to be the case. But
Damn. So what do you think the real reason is as to like the actual just dropping players like that large of a drop, like 25% or some shit that we can guess.
yeah, I mean, I think a large part of it is people are just sick of this shit, man. Like that's really just what it comes down to. Like I honestly, genuinely think that people are just tired of the experience that they're giving to this game, and just not trying to make any changes, right? Like no quality of life changes, and I'm tired of seeing like on all over Twitter, adapt to the game, skill issue, all that nonsense, right? Like it's no, the game takes first off, the game takes no skill. The time to kill is super high, even in core multiplayer. With some guns, man, like they kill you so quick. There's nothing, right? Like it's just forget
Whoever
about
sees the
it. It's
person
over.
first is gonna get the kill, basically.
Exactly right. And especially if you're using like a quote unquote like meta weapon, um, then it's it's frustrating. Um, because again, I mean, this is just the experience we're being given over and
Mhm.
over and over again, and that's just that's the way the cookie crumbles, I suppose. But um, yeah, I don't know, man. I think I think I think that's a factor. I also think that part of it too is the fact that um from a content lens, this doesn't really there's I feel like there's not much to it, right? Like especially in Warzone 2. Like in Warzone 2, I feel like um from a content perspective, it's all very meh. Like I
Well,
don't
that's
even really
my problem with it. I wonder how they expect the game to last this like extra cycle in terms of player base. 'Cause I don't really see how, unless they come up with some, like I said, they come up with that big fucking whatever it is, like $70 update or whatever. But
yeah.
other than that, I don't see how this game would survive 2 years with no other Call of Duty to come out.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly don't either. And honestly, like I don't even enjoy watching Warzone 2 content. I really don't. Um
Yeah, I mean I don't watch it really.
the honeymoon phase of proximity chat being in the game, that's worn off on me at this point. Um, it still has its moments, but yeah. I mean, the only time I even really enjoy the whole proximity chat thing is when I'm watching Doc. That's really about it.
Mhm.
Because Doc and proximity chat is just it's golden. But even then, I mean, it's still only so much because I mean the game just sucks. um,
The game's in a rough state.
yeah. We do see like they added the ability to get a nuke in the game, and they have the whole nuke challenge, which we've seen people do already at this point. And a lot of people are kind of just doing it over and over and over again. So like you've kind of seen what you need to see.
What is that, like 25 straight kills or some shit in Warzone or what?
No, a little bit harder than that. So the way it works is um, you have to get 5 kills, or sorry, 5 wins in a row. Um,
Oh, okay.
And then after those 5 wins, you unlock the nuke challenge, and you get 4 attempts to complete the nuke challenge. The thing with the nuke challenge is that once you start the nuke challenge, they call it the Champion's Quest.
Mhm.
Um, Everyone on the map knows that you have the nuke challenge,
You're
and
marked.
you're marked on the map. Think of like a most wanted, essentially.
Oh, okay.
Um, and this fucking shit's happening again. And so what ends up happening is during that process, right? Um, it's funny. What ends up happening is you have to get 3 different elements, quote unquote. You got to survive with said elements. You take damage while you're waiting for that. Um,
Elements. What is that? Elements.
like like nuclear elements. You know what I mean? There's like I don't know chemistry, bro.
Oh,
There's
like literal elements on like the table.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh,
Way to make me look fucking dumb. Um, but
yeah, dumb fuck.
but but yeah, and then like after so long, the thing that you put the elements into,
Yeah.
the nuke itself essentially drops onto the map. You have to upload the elements into it, and then once you do that, you have to arm the actual nuke, and then you got to defend it for like I think like 30 seconds or something like that. Um, because people could like defuse it.
It's so weird how they did
Um,
that.
it's a hard challenge.
It just ends the game.
And correct, yeah. So like if completed, then yeah, it literally just that's it. The
Interesting.
game over and that team wins. Um, so again, I mean, I've been kind of like I've been seeing it. It's a cool concept, but like once you see it once, twice, maybe three times, you're already kind of just over it.
I was gonna say I
Uh,
wouldn't even want to do it more than once, really.
yeah, and like again, it's cool, right? Like it's you get a cool like operator skin for it and some like emblems and stickers to put on your guns and whatnot. Like again, it's pretty neat. Um, but like again, once you see it once or twice or even three times, at that point you're like, all right, I've seen it. I'm good now. You know what I
That's
mean?
it. Yeah.
Again, from a competitive standpoint or a just again just from a skill level standpoint, it's not easy to do. Like it is definitely a hard challenge. So again, I mean, you still give your your shout outs to those people for doing it, but
Yep.
after so long, you're just like, nah. But I will say one thing that was really cool. I don't know if you know who Bobby Poff is
Oh,
or Unrational. Two big Call of Duty streamers. Um, the two of them and Dill, who is also a Call of Duty streamer.
Bill.
Uh, Dill,
Oh,
like Dilly.
I was like, his name's just Bill.
Good old Bill. They attempted this the other day, and I don't think they were successful. However, they attempted it again, and they actually managed to do it. This was yesterday. Um, they attempted to complete a nuke without firing a single bullet.
Oh, oh, so what, they just punch people?
Yeah, like literally just melee only, essentially, or just try not to fight people at all.
Interesting.
Um, and they won. They actually managed to do it.
Of course they did, dude.
Yeah. And apparently they did it again. Like they did it the once, and then they followed it up with another one.
Oh,
Um,
interesting. Okay.
yeah. So, which I mean, that's pretty cool, right? Like
Yeah,
that. I mean,
making
I
making fun out of it is like good content, I
right.
think.
But now I will say, right? So they did that. Now what do you fucking do?
RPGs only.
Launch it. I mean, yeah, I guess. Or a snipers only one with how fucking awful the snipers are in the
Exactly.
game. I mean, yeah, I guess there's different variations you could do, but like again, I mean, after so long, you're just kind of like, all right, I've seen it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And that's
That's
kind of
Warzone in general, though, I think.
it is. It is. You're not wrong. Um, yeah, you're
Especially at
not
this
wrong.
point. Like,
Yeah. And again, I think that's kind of where the issue lies. I think it's one of those things to where it's not much different than what uh than what we saw with the Warzone 1 cycle. And now to make it even worse, like I feel like the overall experience is it's already gotten stale in the sense that like, oh, here's the meta weapon. This is what you use all the time.
yep.
Um to where I think when especially towards the end of Caldera, they managed to kind of fix that a bit to where you could use different weapons and still be successful to where right now you have to use the RPK. I mean, there's just no ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah. Unless you like really flip up your play style, which would be tough.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I again, I'm not really feeling it. Not really feeling it. I mean, I'm kind of done with Warzone 2 even. At least for now. I mean, maybe I'll eventually I come back to it 6 months from now when the game's actually not feeling like it's in a beta state.
Yeah,
Um,
Warzone's kind of whack. I've been enjoying the multiplayer though. Really, I have been.
yeah, I'm gonna play some of the multiplayer today and this weekend. Just so that way I can grind some more weapons. But yeah, man, it's a good time. A good time. But
Oh, you know
uh
what? On the topic of I guess Call of Duty content. Did
yeah.
you see the whole Nadia thing?
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, that was interesting. Um for those that don't know, Nadia is a Warzone streamer who is accused of cheating. Which I she doesn't cheat. I don't care what people say. She doesn't cheat. Um but anywho,
Really?
um she she got a $1 donation from a troll, a guy who's essentially just trying to call her out for cheating and all that stuff. And she handled
The
the
social troll
situation.
behavior.
She handled the situation extremely poorly, especially for somebody who has honestly built her platform and her content around that. Like she says it all the time. Like she calls herself out for cheating on like a regular basis, right? Like, and which is nothing new. Like we've seen like Zlander did that during a lot of the Warzone 1 days because he was getting called out for it. Um we've seen, I've seen Swag do it. I've seen a lot of streamers do it. So that's nothing new necessarily. But what is a little bit new um is the fact that when somebody sends you a donation as a streamer, a lot of times, especially if it's through PayPal or anything like that, a lot of times PayPal will send, or it'll send their info, right? So it'll send like their email, or sometimes it'll even say their first and last name. Um and
Yeah, basically, if you set your PayPal up normally, it'll have your
yeah,
real first and last name.
yeah. And so she decided to say fuck it, and uh and just absolutely just drop this man's info out there for the hundreds, maybe even thousands. I don't really watch her, so I don't know what kind of viewership she gets, but
Yeah, but basically
um
insinuating for our viewers to go harass this guy in one way or
yeah.
another.
And that's exactly what happened. This dude was getting messaged constantly, um just being harassed, which, I mean, again, I'm not exactly on his side. um you know At the same token, though, not exactly on her side either. She ended up getting banned, and it's funny because she tweeted saying that she got a 14-day ban, and she for sharing personal information, and she almost was like, "What? Like, this doesn't make any sense," kind of deal. And then that's when all the info came out, and we saw clips and stuff like that, and it's like,
Yeah,
"Oh, okay, you actually did this."
yeah, like you did something extremely fucked up.
Yeah. And then uh not only did she not serve the 14-day ban, it was only 5 hours. They banned her for 5 hours. And then they said, "All right, you're good. Fuck it."
Yep, which is its own other
Yeah.
conversation with Twitch moderation that we're not even gonna get into. You could fucking
Yeah.
save it for some other point, I guess. But
Right. I was going to say we'll be here all day if we do that. But
um, yeah, it's extremely concerning.
yeah,
Because now it sets a really bad precedent. Um, where if you're a viewer of Twitch, like why would you even risk, in my opinion, donating to a streamer at this point
bingo.
if they could just freely dox you without any sort of repercussions on their end? Like,
Bingo.
why would you even bother?
Yep. Well, shit like that kind of ruins the experience, cuz then as a viewer it's like, "All right, why am I going to why should I donate to you when I have to worry about that being a thing?" Which, again, most donations usually are positive, right? Like usually it's a positive message, and they're not trying to just completely troll you. But again, I mean, there's
Even
just
even saying that though,
yeah,
even saying that, even if I do choose to donate to you and tell you and say fuck you, I hate you, whatever,
yeah,
that still doesn't give you the right to put out someone's personal information without their consent, because that is like
hundred
taking it
percent.
another step.
100%. And again, there are such better ways to handle that. Like, ultimately, you could just sit there, because it also wasn't like a text to speech dono either. So it's not like it was
Yeah.
just playing on stream. Like, she's just
You could just
reading her
choose not
alert.
to fucking like
Right.
read it or pretend it
Exactly.
never even happened.
Right. She could just maybe start reading it and just be like, all right, whatever. Thanks for the dollar. Right. Like, it called it a day. That's it.
Yep.
Um,
So
Instead,
it doesn't feed into the troll, and then he doesn't get the satisfaction of her, reacting per se.
yep. And instead, that's just not how she handled it. And yeah, I mean, that was just very, very poor on her part. And it's weird because, like, some people, I mean, you see it as always on the internet, right? It's like half and half, right? Some people are like, nah, she should have been like permabanned for this. Like, I saw Asmongold gave his thoughts and saying that she should be permabanned, and he still
Yeah, he
stands
said
by it.
like, "Hey, everyone should literally go report her because she
Yeah,
needs to be permanent for this."
yeah. And then there's some people who actually are like saying that, like, nah, she what she did was fine. all because she got a troll dono.
Yeah, I saw it was mostly like other Call of Duty content creators though that were defending her, which
Early
I
on,
guess
most of the people
makes
that were
sense, but
defending her didn't have context of the situation. I noticed, and then once there was the context,
mhm.
some of them were like, "But you
Yeah,
did it."
that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah. So I did see
Yeah,
that. And on that tweet where she tweeted out that she got banned, she made it, she like limited a lot of the replies. Um, and also on top of that, she went on because I saw some posts from various people. She went
yeah.
on and banned, or blocked rather, a lot of people on her Twitter that were, trying to be like, yeah, you were in the wrong here. But
She was extremely in the wrong.
yeah, no, 100%, 100%. Yeah,
Because it's not even
that's an
just
interesting
like,
situation.
oh, it's annoying the guy's info's out there so he gets harassed. It's actually dangerous though because we see how easy it is to swap people, right?
Yeah,
And especially like streamers, I think have even maybe a slightly better level of protection against that.
sure.
Um, but if you're a normal person, dude, and someone's just constantly swatting your house, it's like, fuck, like that's extremely scary.
Yeah. No, 100%, man. 100%. Yeah, man. It's a crazy crazy situation, man. But like you said, like the Twitch moderation, I mean, just what a joke.
Yeah, yeah, like she needs to be banned for. I mean, like I don't think she should be banned forever for it, but like Asmund said, like it should be a perma ban, and then they should unban her after like 6 months. I think that
Yeah.
would be fair, personally.
Yeah. No, I'd 100% agree. 100%. Hell, even 3, right? I'll take 3 months.
Yeah, but dude, 5 hours? Come on now.
Yeah.
Well, why'd they unban her? I don't even get it.
I don't know either. But to be fair, Twitch doesn't really say a lot of things with various, whatever kind of.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, it's just it's all just a massive joke over there on the purple platform. But
That's it.
but onto more positive topics. So Mr. Beast, the man, the myth, the legend himself, um, is now available in Fortnite as a playable character. Um, that you can buy. You can buy his skin, his character, and comes with a an alternate skin that's kind of cool and like this cool umbrella and all that stuff. But the more exciting thing, so Mr. Beast being who Mr. Beast is, if you don't know who he is, get out from underneath the rock that you're in. And
Yeah, idiot.
yeah, you idiot. Nah, he himself is hosting him and Epic are hosting a challenge in Fortnite, the Mr. Beast Fortnite Survival Challenge. And obviously, if you've seen any of his videos, like you understand what a lot of his videos are based around, especially like any of those quote unquote survival videos. Um, Really cool opportunity for a bunch of schmucks like myself, to be able to just go play Fortnite. Right, so it's a 3 hour tournament.
Yeah, just
Um,
can't ever do that on your own, dude.
I'm sorry, to go make money in Fortnite. That's kind of more what I meant to
Now
say.
I can finally play Fortnite.
To make money in Fortnite. That's what I meant to say. So it's a 3 hour tournament that is open to the public. Literally anybody can do it. And the way it works,
What does that mean though?
what do you mean?
Like so there could be like a million people in this tournament?
100%. Absolutely. And there probably will be. Probably be millions. I'd be shocked if there wasn't. But so here's how it works, right? So here's the format. So it's a 3 hour event, right? So it starts at noon Eastern time,
Yeah.
um, on the fuck's today, the 16th, right? So on the 17th, so tomorrow. And the way it works is it's a excuse me, it's a custom map that was created by Atlas Creative. I think is the second part of the name. I can't remember. Somebody who was known for making like these crazy maps in Fortnite. Um, and the way it works, it's a series of challenges that you compete in this public lobby of like 16 people. But it's a series of challenges that you compete in, and like it's in between the challenges. It's you doing almost like a Mr. Beast says kind of deal. So Mr. Beast says emote, Mr. Beast says crouch, like shit like that.
Ah, yeah.
And then once you completed the challenges, or once you completed that, it goes on to these little mini games, right? So one of the mini games is like red light, green light. There's another one that's a that's a maze that you have to complete. Um,
Gotcha. Okay.
there's another one where you have to find a briefcase on a map, um, and so on and so forth. Um, the games themselves could last a while if you're good, and because you also have health too. So like there's like different like they have what's called sequencers that will come at you after so long, and the way it works is that when they come at you, if they hit you, you take damage, or like if you fall in the water around where these hexagons are, you'll take damage from that even. So if your health runs out, then you die and that's it. On to the next one. Um, but the way it works is that uh they're gonna take your best score. So out of all the games you play that day during those 3 hours, they take your best score, and that's what gets posted on the leaderboard. And whoever has the top score takes home $1 million,
How many rounds is it?
as many as you want. Like that's the thing. Like it's not really like a it's more of an event. Tournament's probably not the right word. It's more of an event.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not getting it. So
What's not there
the
to
person with
get?
the most points wins the money,
Exactly.
but there's not a limit on how many rounds you can play.
Correct.
So I could just grind
Oh,
the game until I have the most points.
I'm sorry. So the game itself, like the mode itself, like it does end after so long.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, like that ends after so long. I think like a half hour is like the longest it goes. Um,
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
yeah, and then you load up the next game. But 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 yeah, no. So that itself ends. But like yeah, I mean you're not limited to just that one and only game. Like you can boot it up again and try again and try to get a higher score.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, you have 3 hours to try to get the best possible score you can. I've seen some people playing that have shared because you could actually go in and practice it now. They've had it available for practice since Wednesday, I believe. Um,
Interesting. Okay.
and you could actually go in and practice on the map. And I've seen some people like uploading like their clips and stuff to Twitter. I've seen a lot of people have like a little over like 100,000 as a score.
Yeah.
Um, and like that's pretty high. Like that's tough to get. I managed to do it once so far. I haven't really played it too much, um, but that's again that's pretty high. But I mean, what like an awesome concept, right? Like it's such a cool opportunity, such a really cool thing for Epic and for Mr. Beast to do. And it really just goes to show you like what having a good dev team, what that's like, right? Like having a dev team and a creative that actually give a shit about their game and want to make updates and add these new things and try to make it relevant and make it worthwhile. Um,
Agree. Yeah. Because obviously Call of Duty could be doing something like that too.
right. Again, just a really cool concept. And Fortnite holds like competitive like tournaments all the time that people can just join.
Hmm.
Um, you may not win any money, you might just win like a skin or something, but like still, I mean,
Still,
again, just at least there's something, in comparison to what they do in Call of Duty. So I mean, again, major W, awesome thing. I'm excited for it. I'm definitely gonna be doing it tomorrow.
well,
Um,
that's cool. I wish you the best, man.
thank you, man. Thank you. You should probably tell your dad about it. I know he's a big Fortnite guy. So,
Oh, he probably already knows.
but but yeah, man. I mean, just again, really really cool. Um, I love what they're doing. And I mean, hell, who knows? Maybe even after this event, this challenge, I've been debating back and forth on like whether or not I want to go back to playing Apex or if I want to maybe try playing Fortnite again. And who knows? Maybe I end up getting back on the Fortnite grind for a while.
What
But
the heck?
we'll see. We'll
No
see.
shot.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Hey, I was having fun with the no build mode. I thought it was actually a lot of fun.
It was alright. It was alright.
I I disagree. I think it was more than all right.
Okay. Well,
I think it
feel
was
free to
solid.
disagree.
I will. I'm going to.
You're still wrong, but okay.
I'm going to. All right. Well, kind of wraps it up for the gaming side of things. Um, on to sports. So I think you and I could both agree that we absolutely hate Skip Bayless.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm sure a lot of people. I mean, I've seen it all over social media, so I'm sure a lot of people have already seen this clip. But I'm just gonna play it for those to be able to see.
Still playing at a high level at 45 when you had to stop at 35.
Skip, that's what you do.
That's the point.
That's what you do. Every time I call something into question, I'm jealous.
No,
Skip, I did what I
never
did.
said you were jealous of Baker Mayfield.
Skip, I did what I did. You make it seem like I was a bum. I'm in the effing Hall of Fame.
Okay,
I got
so
3 Super Bowls.
So what?
So what?
He's way better than you were.
I'm better than
way
you.
Better.
Skip, what? I got to see what you do. You take personal shots.
No,
for
I don't take
Skip,
personal
hold on,
shots. You started it.
Time out. You would take a personal shot at me.
I didn't take a personal
time
shot
out.
at you.
Wait a minute.
What are you talking about?
You would take a personal.
Put your
hold on.
glasses back on.
Can I finish? You're willing to take a personal shot at me to say this man is better than me because I say he's playing bad this year?
Well, because you just
Go ahead.
you disrespect him. It's
Go
just
ahead.
so.
So you would
you know what? It's beneath your
You would
dignity.
disrespect me to support him.
No, well, I'll support him over anybody because he's the greatest player who ever
Have
played
at
your
it.
game, and it's by
Have at it.
far.
Have at it.
Okay,
Take off, bro.
I'm going to have at it because I'm going to have at you.
So let's dissect this a little bit. First off, the only good take I think Skip Bayless has ever had by saying that Tom Brady is the greatest to ever play the game. I think we can
True.
we can agree on that. That's the only good take he has ever had.
He's not wrong when he says it, yeah.
And he's not. He's not. But imagine trying to tell a guy who's a 3-time Super Bowl champ and a guy who is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame and a guy who is one of the best tight ends to ever play the game.
Yep.
Imagine telling him so what when he tells you that.
Yeah. So what?
So what? Like, what the fuck, man? Like, this dude is just straight up just like, oh, you're in the Hall of Fame? Who cares, right? The second
Yeah,
thing,
just because Brady is quote unquote better, even though obviously 2 positions in football aren't exactly comparable.
right? Yeah, and like 2 way different positions, obviously. And plus on top of that, the other thing there as well, the moment where he tells him to put his glasses back on,
Mm.
oh, dude, I don't know how Shannon didn't just jump over the fucking desk and just smack him in the face.
Put your glasses back on.
Yeah. What the actual fuck? And then the end where he goes, "I'm gonna have at you." Like the way he fucking says that, like, oh, I hate him. I hate him. Fucking hate him. But
Yeah, Skip has this like really weird sense of like superiority.
Mhm.
Like he has done fucking anything in terms of football. Like,
Yeah.
dude, like you've
Yeah.
done nothing.
Yep. And the only reason why he's even relevant as a as a journalist, or as a whatever the fuck you want to call him, only reason why he's even relevant is because of the fact that he constantly just has bad takes. Like that you never hear him
Ah, yes.
say anything good.
Tim Tebow.
Like what? Ugh, fuck. Um. Yeah, man. I mean, dude, when I watched that, I God, I knew I didn't like Skip Bayless before, but man, I really don't like Skip Bayless now. Like,
Yeah, well, it takes it. He definitely took like he went way over the line in terms of like talking to someone who's meant to be his peer,
yeah,
and just like just because Shannon doesn't like Tom Brady this season, which is fair enough because Tom Brady is fucking dog shit this
I
season. I
literally
don't care what
dropped him
anyone says.
from my fantasy team.
Yeah, he's literally useless, dude. The guy, like, they'd be better with any other quarterback and no bullshit.
Yep.
Um, just the fact that Shannon's like, hey, like this season, he's not playing his greatest football, which is beyond a factual statement because you can literally
Mhm.
prove it. And the fact that Skip would resort to personal attacks and disrespecting him personally in his career after everything that he's done, which is be in the Hall of Fame, which is obviously something that's extremely difficult to do. Um, just kind of goes to show that type of person that he really is, you know?
Yeah. No, 100%. And yeah, I mean, like to pretty much talk to Shannon like as if Shannon's like this bum, right? Like as if he, didn't do anything in the NFL.
Yep.
I mean, again, to me, it's actually just kind of sickening in a way. Not gonna lie.
Yep.
Um, yeah, man, I
Yep.
just I'm almost at a loss of words for
Again, it's not
for
even like
for that.
it's comparable, dude. Like obviously if Tom Brady went to go play tight end, he'd probably be dog shit. Just like if Shannon were to go to play quarterback, he'd be dog shit. You know, like these are
Yeah,
two positions that they've mastered their craft in,
yeah,
and they should both be recognized for it, like
yeah.
in an equal type of sense. You know, because like I guess you could argue like Tom Brady might be a better quarterback than Shannon was a tight end. I guess you could make that argument,
Sure, right. Which
but
I would say is a fair argument.
but just the fact that that Skip is like, "Eh, this guy is better than you ever were. It's like, man, I would not say that to even someone I was like an acquaintance with, let alone someone I would consider my friend. You know?
Yeah, yeah. I just what a what a joke, man. But anywho, onward we go. Fuck Skip Bayless. So last night we had good old Thursday night football. 49ers against the Seahawks. Last week we had the Niners playing against Tampa Bay, which is kind of where that Skip Bayless conversation started from. Um, we got to see Brock Purdy, man, Mister
Purdy?
Mister Irrelevant.
Yeah, he's pretty
Um,
good.
he's pretty good. Um, Last pick in the draft this year. Has kind of had to step into the spotlight a little bit. Due to some injuries there in San Fran, and yeah, I mean he showed up. He showed up. Not only last week, his first NFL start going against the greatest quarterback of all time. Um, I mean, granted that defense was stifling. Like they were insane, and they have been all year. But
Yeah, 49ers have a very talented team right now.
yeah. But even offensively, man, like he played very well. I mean, he had the 2 touchdowns. He had that dime that he threw to Christian McCaffrey. I mean, Christian McCaffrey went off. Christian McCaffrey had a big game. Um, Unfortunately, Debo went down with an injury. I think it's just like an MCL like sprain, like nothing too major. So should be back relatively soon. But yeah, I mean, dude, he played really well. And then even last night, man, he had the 2 dimes last night. He also had I mean, he was accurate throwing the football. Like, yeah, I think he went like 15 and 21 or something like that.
Yep.
Leading the Niners to another victory, as well as clinching a spot in the playoffs.
Oh, they
Um,
clinched.
they did. They did.
I,
They are the
I had no idea.
second team in the NFL to clinch a playoff spot. Um,
That's
with the Eagles being the first one.
right. That's right.
So tell me, man, do you think Brock Purdy has a potential future in the NFL as a starting QB?
Well, probably not. Just because I feel like we have this conversation every year with some random player who comes in to replace a quarterback from
Yep.
injury. And then they all, at least it seems like, they all eventually have a game where they throw like 4 or 5 picks in a game,
Yep.
and they're just dog shit the rest of their career. And I'm kind of just waiting for it to happen. So
Yeah, I mean,
probably not, but I mean, I have high hopes for the guy. Hope he does well.
right. And again, I mean, he's showing up very well, and I mean, he's going to be the starter of the rest of the season.
Yep.
And uh, 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 Garoppolo, they said would potentially be back in time for the playoffs, but I think with the way Purdy's playing, and if he continues to play like this, I mean, to me, it's no question. They stick with him at that point.
Yeah.
Not that Jimmy G was doing horrible. Like he was actually starting to kind of find his groove again, and
Yep.
then then he got hurt. But I mean, ultimately, I think you think ahead to the future, right? Let's say Purdy continues this performance, right? Like let's say this is the performance you get out of Brock Purdy week in and week out, to where it's nothing super stellar, nothing super spectacular, but it's consistent, it's proficient, and it's enough to get you wins.
Yes.
Come next year, do you go Trey Lance or do you go Brock Purdy?
I mean, you kind of have to go Trey Lance, to be
Right.
honest.
Yeah. I mean, I
Just
think
from
same thing there.
draft capital, you just
Yep.
have to.
Yep. And I think same thing there. I think Trey, like prior to him getting hurt, like I feel like he was starting to find his rhythm as well, and was
Yeah. I mean,
um
you have to give him a chance, dude. Like, he hasn't really had a chance yet to even begin
exactly.
to like get used to the NFL or anything. So
Yeah. And like, when you have the weapons that he would have around him now between CMC, Debo,
yep,
Kittle, Brandon Ayuk. Like again, I mean that's a good looking offense. So
not wrong.
um but I wouldn't be shocked if the Niners managed to make a run, deep into the playoffs with this team. Wouldn't be shocked. And I mean, dude, if Purdy somehow manages to bring home a Super Bowl, he's your starter. Has to be.
Yes, that's not going to happen because they'd have to play the Eagles, and
Yeah.
that's not going to work.
Because
Hey.
Jalen Hurts is the
Here we go.
motherfucking MVP.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, yeah, I'd probably agree with you there. But hey, we'll see, man. This dude, he's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty
Until
good.
he's not.
Yeah. But anywho, so this past Monday, we had the my team, we had the Patriots playing against the Cardinals. Man, I almost feel like this year I've kind of ignored the Pats, not gonna lie, and I kind of feel bad. Because they have moments. Yeah, like they have moments where they're good. They're average, is what they are. And they have moments where they play really well, and they have moments where they play awful. But there was an incident during the game where I don't know if you saw it. There was an incident during the game where Nelson Aguilar made a catch. Although kind of, or I'm sorry, not Nelson Aguilar. Devontae Parker rather. Made a catch. Although like kind of dropped it at the same time. But they ruled it a catch at first. And part of the reason why he dropped it was because homeboy was concussed, and you could see it clear as day. I mean, he's stumbling around. He's struggling to even just kind of stand still and get in formation. And again, I mean, dude's out of it, right? And you can see it pretty clear. And it took, I can't even say it took Nelson Aguilar trying just to recognize the moment and the situation and be a good teammate.
Yep.
It actually took a challenge flag being thrown to stop the play in order to get Devontae Parker off the field and the help he needed.
Jesus, man.
Um, I mean, that's pretty bad, right? Like you have Aguilar who he literally took a knee on the field as like they're all lining up.
Hmm.
Um, and then you see him, he's waving his arms around, he's trying to, get the ref's attention, like, yo, this dude ain't good.
He ain't good, bro.
And yeah, and they just didn't care. Um, and it's not the first time we've seen, some issues when it comes to concussions this year, as far as observing them and trying to, again, make sure the right thing's happening. Obviously there was the whole Tua incident earlier in the year with Miami and um
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and some other issues along the way as well. But do you think there is anything that the NFL could do to better this this process, to better the protocols, to better just something? Obviously they made some changes to where, like, now they made it to where if you have concussion like symptoms literally at all, you're out for the game. Which I think was a good change.
It's a
But
good thing.
do you think there's anything else that they could possibly do?
I mean, the other thing I would say is like have like a dedicated guy to stop shit, but I feel like they already do
They do.
have a
They literally
dedicated
have a
guy.
guy who's like a concussion spotter on the
Yeah.
field. However,
So
the
that
concussion
guy's just
spotter,
bad.
yeah, I mean, you see it happen time and time again. So I don't know if there needs to just be better training there, or if games
Yeah,
are
or
just
you need to
having more
hire more
people,
spotters or
right?
something.
Yeah, I mean, just
I
more
get it,
people
like the
dedicated to
angle.
that.
Like obviously, what we're seeing on TV is like we have obviously a much better view of the field than people
Sure.
standing on the sideline. Um, but if that's the case, then like I don't know, just hire more or like have someone or like have these guys be in. I don't even know where they stand if they're on the sideline or not, but have these guys be in boxes and then give them like something to zoom in, like binoculars or something, so they can keep an eye on every player on each play.
Sure.
And if they see anything weird, obviously like rate it down to the refs, like, hey yo, stop the game, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there's definitely something that can be done better. I mean, I don't have enough of an expertise in that area, obviously, to be the one trying to give suggestions or anything like that. But
Yep. I mean,
um,
it's not even just on the NFL. I mean, it's also on the teams. Like,
yeah,
why did the the team itself not run their medical guys onto the field and just like force the game to stop per se? You know,
sure, sure,
so
yeah,
it's
man.
also
I
on
mean,
them.
I think there's a lot of missed, situations there, and I mean, again, you see it happen time and time again, year after year. How many times do you see a guy take a big hit, gets up groggy, and the guys around him are like, "Yo, you need to stop, you need to chill." And obviously, it's an instinct, right? As an athlete, as a competitor, you just want to keep
Mm.
going, right? Like you just want to keep pushing ahead as if nothing's wrong, of course. And then, I mean, how many times have you seen guys just collapse on the field? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Um, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly what can be done or what needs to be done, but I mean, something's gotta we gotta try. You know what I mean? You gotta try something. And I know injuries are an unfortunate part of the game. Um, and it happens because our bodies aren't meant to just sit there and just go fucking full speed on with one another like that.
Yep.
But yeah, man, I mean, hopefully they can figure something out, and they need to figure it out like yesterday. Like they gotta
Yeah. I mean, it
they
might
gotta
even
do
come down
something.
to you remember those things I had in like practice this season, like those black bubble things that go over
Yeah,
helmets.
yeah,
Maybe they could find a way to like implement that into the helmet's design so it doesn't look so fucking stupid.
maybe.
Um, then something like that could be super beneficial to like just reducing the amount of shock that goes into a player's head whenever they make
Sure.
contact.
Yeah, sure. No, absolutely.
But it could just go down to better equipment even rather than just like having to have to stop after each hit.
Sure, sure. I mean, that's definitely definitely something worth looking into for sure. For sure. All right, man. Well, we're gonna just about wrap things up here. But first, we get into who is your guy on the down low for this upcoming week. Last week, I picked my man Brock Purdy, who's he's pretty good.
They're good. Not a DL player anymore though.
Definitely not a DL player anymore for sure, for sure. And you picked George Pickens, who, I mean, he actually had a decent game against Baltimore. At least yardage wise, he only had like 3 catches, but like he had like 74 yards. Like he played all right.
He was all right. He was all right. He's catching on.
Right? Like I'd say that's some production there. But who is your pick for this upcoming week?
To be honest, brother, I have no fucking idea.
All right. All right. We're gonna do the same thing you did last week, and you figure that one out. I'm gonna go. Instead of picking a player, I'm actually gonna pick a team.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I didn't know I had that option.
And I'm gonna pick the Detroit Lions. Now I will say it's like they're kind of on the DL, but kind of not. Because they've been clicking, man. Won 5 out of the last 6 games. The offense is grooving. Jared Goff is playing well. Tough matchup that they're heading into this weekend against the Jets. But in New York, no less, too. But as a whole, I mean, again, when a team is, I think the record is like, I'm trying to think, it's either like 6, I think it's like 6-7, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, when a team's like 6-7 on the season, and they're being looked at as one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now, that's saying something. But I mean, again, the team is clicking. The offense is doing really well. Dan Campbell, love the guy. He's making things happen, there. And yeah, I mean, honestly, truthfully, I pick them, and I kind of stick with them, not only for this week, but going forward. If they manage to get into the playoffs, watch out. I'm calling it now. You heard it here first. If they get into the playoffs, because Minnesota just won the division, so it'd be a wild card spot. But if they get into the playoffs, then I think they make it to the NFC Championship game.
Damn, you think they go that far?
I think they go that far. Their offense.
Trusting Jared Goff that much?
Yes, first off, he's playing phenomenal. He's actually been playing really well all season. Their offense has been one of the best offenses in the league the entire year. The thing that's killing them, and the reason why they've lost the amount of games they have, is their defense. They literally have I think the worst ranked defense in the NFL. The defense is showing moments to where it can click and it can be consistent. And now that the offense has all their weapons, right? Amon-Ra St. Brown, DeAndre Swift, Jamal Williams.
Swift is fucking crazy.
Right? Jamal Williams, who is the NFL's leader in touchdowns right now, by the way.
Good.
And on top of that, their first round pick this year, Quentin Williams, the wide receiver from Bama, last week was his first game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right? Everybody forgot about him.
Season.
Exactly, yeah. Everybody forgot about him. Last week was his first game. Dude
he played.
He caught like a 50-yard touchdown on his first catch.
Whoa, actually?
Yeah, I'm not even kidding.
Jesus, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, I think the offense is clicking very, very well, and now that you got all these weapons around you, I think they could be special. I think they could be special. I think they actually have a chance of being a dangerous team to go up against. Now, granted, going up against a team like, let's say, like the Niners, for example, that's tough, right? I mean, we're talking the hardest defense, to play against in the NFL. And then on top of that, an offense that's, pretty productive.
Yep.
I mean, that's a tough matchup. Minnesota, even though they beat Minnesota, again, if you have to face them, it's still not easy. And then
Justin Jefferson's a hell of a guy.
Right. And then, let's say a potential matchup against Philly. I mean, we're talking the best team in the NFL right now. So,
I mean, other than the Redskins beating the Eagles, though, I mean, they were the closest team to beat the Eagles. So
you mean the Commanders?
who?
It's crazy, man, how often you still want to call them the Redskins. Like, it's just
I mean,
so
bro.
instilled into your brain. Like,
Well, especially being an Eagles fan, man. Like,
yeah, I do it with the Chargers even. Like, I still call them the San Diego Chargers every so often.
yeah, San Diego, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Again, I think they could actually be something special, man. Something to definitely watch out for. Not only this year, but even just years to come. With a lot of that young talent that they have.
Quarterback, but it is what it is.
He's playing well, man. He's playing well.
Yeah, so was Daniel Jones for a time.
That's fair. That's fair. But all right, man. Who you got?
Okay, well, since we could choose teams, since I didn't know this.
Hey, homie, you can choose literally whatever. You could choose
literally
team,
cheating.
player. You could even choose a whole different sport. I don't care, man. It's our show. We make the rules.
Sure, man. Because of you, I just got knifed, by the way. Anyway,
okay.
I'm gonna say to look out for the Jaguars this week because fuck the Dallas Cowboys, and the Jaguars are gonna win. That's all I have to say about that.
All right. I like it. Any specific reason other than just fuck the Cowboys, or?
It's mostly fuck the Cowboys.
Okay.
But there is still the fact that Doug Peterson is an extremely good coach, and once he gets the pieces together, and once he gets the jive going, especially since he's familiar playing against the Cowboys, I'm telling you, dude, watch out for a choke job from the Cowboys, and the Jaguars will take advantage. Just saying.
All right. Fair enough. I mean, I guess we'll see what happens there. I also want to give an honorable mention to the Houston Texans. They almost beat the Cowboys last week.
Yeah, and they choked it away.
They did. Another tough matchup this week against Kansas City.
Yeah,
But
poor Texans, man, they can't get a break with the schedule.
At the end of the day, man, if you turn the ball over multiple times, you're always going to have a chance to win. So
True.
You never know. Let them know. But all right, that's gonna do it. It was a good episode. I like that. That was fun. As always, guys, be sure to check us out on the various social media platforms: Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Subscribe here on YouTube. Leave a like if you enjoyed the show, as well as let us know in the comments down below who you have as your DL player or team or coach or whatever. It doesn't matter. We make the rules of the week.
No, we got me again. I'm so fucking done.
As well as be sure to just kind of give your overall thoughts and takes on some of the various topics that we talked about today. And as always, again, be sure to check us out next week as well for next week's episode and continue to go forward. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. We appreciate you. And enjoy the games. Catch you guys next week.
Bye-bye.